Hey guys, Chelsea from Attention to Details, and today in the shop we are working on this Rav4 for my customer. This detail was actually back in March when we were having freezing cold temperatures, so I know we are way past March. This is just the time that I'm getting around to editing this content, but we need to do an exterior wash for my customer. We've got a lot of heavy road film and dirt, and we have a lot of makeup on the exterior as well as on the interior that we're going to share some quick tips on how to quickly and safely handle those issues. But as far as doing this detail, we had some limitations that we had to work around. We had a light colored interior with heavy soils on our seats, a lot of just debris and crumbs all over the interior. A lot of that is just going to be handled with a good vacuuming. But the other limitation that we have is because we have freezing conditions and a lot of dirt on the exterior, I can't do my normal methods of pulling out my pressure washer and washing it because I'm just going to be battling ice. So I need to do a rinseless wash on this vehicle, but we do have a heavy buildup of dirt. So I'll share with you guys some tips on how to do a rinseless wash on a heavily soiled vehicle. But for those of you that also might be struggling with getting quality results on light colored interiors, I'll share with you guys some tips on products and techniques on how to get better results for your interiors. First up, we are going to touchless clean our tires and wheels. We're using Superior Products Dark Fury and Koshemi FCL. We have a high alkaline degreaser and then a low pH acidic cleaner. And when you combine an acid and an alkaline cleaner, they kind of make a super cleaner together. And so it's a nice way with a turbo nozzle to touchless clean tires and wheels. We can dial in the rest of the dirt or film that might be left behind once we pull it into the garage with our rinseless method. After doing our door jams with Dark Fury, now I'm going to just do a quick foaming pre-soak with Purest Alkaline Degreaser, blast off a majority of the dirt, and then we're going to come inside the garage and do our rinseless wash. You might be thinking you had a hose. Rinseless washes does not mean that you can't do a foaming pre-soak first if you have a lot of dirt on the exterior, but what it means is that your final wash, you're not going to rinse off whatever the soap or residue is. So we're using DIY Detail, their rinseless wash, and we also have their ceramic gloss. In this bucket, we have 2 ounces of solution, and we have about 2.5, 3 gallons of water. We have their rinseless sponge. We see all these cool little grooves here for the dirt to be able to go into. It's gonna give us less chance of scratching the paint. We also have the DIY Detail clay towel to decontaminate the paint. That's gonna really help remove any bonded contaminants on the paint to prevent them from kind of etching into the clear. We don't want to squeeze out everything. We want some of that solution still in there, but you don't need to have it like a huge amount dripping. And just very light pressure, side to side motions, come in. We already did a quick kind of foaming pre-soak outside to rinse majority of the bigger dirt off because this vehicle hasn't been washed in quite some time. The customer kind of threw in a last minute exterior wash because she just hasn't been able to get to it. And normally when we go this route, we're just kind of doing a quick hand wash, but because of the amount of scum on here, we need to do a good clay towel treatment. And you can see we have actually like a pretty dirty solution. We're gonna flip over, just kind of wipe off some of the dirt that's on here. You can hear a little bit of grit on the paint. Now we're gonna take our clay towel, squeeze that out in our ceramic gloss. And silly me, we're gonna slow this down because apparently I had this in time lapse, but you spray your ceramic gloss and use that as your lubricant for your clay towel. Use the clay towel to very gently go over the surface. You don't need to scrub, just gently glide over the surface to pull up any bonded contaminants. Then grab your microfiber drying towel, dry off the paint, and you've performed a wash, clay, and seal in a very quick and easy process. I can easily get around this entire vehicle in 20 minutes using this process. And this is super safe on your paint. From wearing foundation and getting in and out, your makeup is starting to kind of stain the plastic trim. Well, here's a quick tip on how to remove it. Grab yourself a magic eraser. This is wet. I've already soaked it kind of in a rinseless wash, but you can just wet it. And then really any all-purpose cleaner. This is just Purest all-purpose cleaner. I'm gonna come in. I'm going to just gently wipe. Don't need to be super aggressive. You can see just how much dirt we're picking up off of our trim. Grab a microfiber. Mop up. And then make sure that you're applying regular protection to your vehicle to help some of that from sticking. Ugh. So when it comes to doing a wash, clay, and seal, I will start at the top and work my way down, so that way I don't have a lot of water spilling back over areas that I've already dried. This is a great way to remove any sort of light tar, road film that's left behind, and it's very safe on your paint. You're not going to induce a lot of swirls and scratches as long as you have that lubricant from the rinseless wash and you don't scrub aggressively with the clay towel. My husband's going to vacuum, and then I'm going to come in and start extracting our seats. I'm going to be using Bonnet Pro Rocket Revive It. This is a commercial grade carpet cleaner that I normally get fantastic results with. Now, we've got a lot of really deep soils. We're going to see what we can do to try to get these seats to have a consistent clean appearance. You'll notice I'm using a white drill brush head with my drill brush, and I'm going really heavy with my cleaner. I want to capitalize upon the foam that is within the solution, lifting the dirt to the surface. You might notice that I'm using different cleaners. This is Ulex. I'm trying to go after these stains that are in the middle of the seat. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be able to get them up, but I'm going to hit them with every single thing that I got. I'm using my Aqua Provac with hot water in the extractor. I like this extractor in this moment versus my Mighty heated extractor because it's going to allow me to get into some of the tighter angles a little bit better than the Mighty. Sometimes I struggle with my Mighty extractor because it leaves too much overspray and the head is a little bit bulkier and it doesn't allow me to get in some tighter spaces, unlike my Aqua Provac. Plus, it's a lot just easier for me to handle. I'm not getting as much user fatigue when I use the Aqua Provac versus the heavier Mighty. Now you can see here, just with one rinse, we've got a huge brightening effect that's going on with the upholstery. Immediately, you're going to be able to see great results because of that hydrogen peroxide based solution plus the foam lifting the dirt to the surface. But as I'm suspecting, these two spots in the middle of the seat, they might be stains that might not be able to be removed. But we're going to try our best to just brighten and lighten some of the soiling and the stains on these seats. But typically, if you find that your solution is coming up clear, it's more than likely a stain that you're not going to be able to get out. Here I am using a straight up kind of Revive It Oxy Spot Cleaner to try to go deeper into the fibers of the upholstery just to see if I can get some of the dirt or staining out. I'm just going to go pretty heavy over it with my extractor to try to rinse out as much of that solution and any dirt that might be able to be lifted out. If you find though after a while that you have clean solution and no foam, you've removed as much of the cleaner as possible and you're not removing any more dirt, then you might know that you've reached your capabilities, your limitations, and you've gotten it as clean as possible. We're cleaners, but we're not magicians sometimes, and customers have to understand that. But I'm giving it one last try with Surround Omegazyme. It's a little bit of a stronger cleaner than Bonnet Pro Rocket Revive It, and just seeing what I can do because gosh darn it, I'm stubborn and I want to see if I can remove this stain. But after a while, I had to call it quits because I wanted the seat to dry out in this lifetime, and honestly it did dry out pretty quickly. I just put my blower on it and within 30 minutes it was dry. But sometimes you just can't remove a stain and you have to know when to tap out. We repeated that exact process on all of our seats, and now we're going to move on to cleaning our plastics. And this is a common problem that I see in a lot of my female customers' vehicles. They'll have a lot of foundation and makeup that builds up on their high touch surfaces. You don't want to use too strong of a cleaner like a magic eraser, especially on some of these turn signals, because it can actually remove the white lettering from their signals. So I'm going to use a Scrub Ninja from Autofiber and Green Star from Koshemi. It is a alkaline cleaner, and just go over all of these surfaces with that Scrub Ninja. It's going to do a really nice job, especially on that textured driver's wheel, just to get all the dirt, body oils, makeup that's kind of in the deeper grooves of the texture, and just do a nice job of cleaning everything. We'll use our detail brushes to get in all the nooks and crannies, use my car dryer to blow out all of the dirt as well as the cleaner, mop up, and we've been able to very quickly and safely clean all of our high touch areas, remove all that makeup as well as dirt and body oil, and leave behind a fresh, clean surface without damaging it. So here are some of the before and afters for our RAV4 full detail. On this driver's seat, I was really happy with how it turned out. As things dried, we did not have as much of that stain in the center. You can see it ever so slightly, but it's a big improvement. A thorough vacuum with detail brushes, we were able to clean all of our plastics and then dial them in with our Koshemi Green Star. But we did a good extraction on all of our carpets, our mats, and our seats. The interior turned out fantastic. I knew going into it, especially with a light colored interior, you can't guarantee that you're going to get 100% of the stains out, and you might battle with wicking. Fortunately, we didn't have to deal with wicking. We may not have gotten 100% of the stains out, but what we could remove, we were able to with our extraction method. The customer was really happy, and at the end of the day, that's all that really matters. So make sure you guys subscribe and give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this content. But for me as a detailer, being able to get these kind of results in freezing cold temperatures, I was really happy with the end result. But thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions about this detail, about the products, let me know in the comment section down below. But we will see you guys in the next detail.